everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's been a day. Let me tell you what. No one really prepared me for the crazosity that would happen when I started teaching kindergarten. Yesterday, I had a student tell me that their dog died. I'm sorry, not tell me, tell the whole class that their dog died. She was fine. I, on the other hand, was holding back a dam break in my eyes. I was emotional like that point in the movie Air Bud where the kid tells his dog to just get away and you're just like about to lose it. That's how emotional I was. Come back from recess, I catch her telling the whole class, it's fine. He's in a better place now. This was meant to happen. You know, we loved him. He lived a long, meaningful life. I was like, okay. I don't know if I can handle this. Emailed the mom, said, I'm so sorry this happened today. She's very vocal about it. I just wanted to let you know she seems to be doing really well in class despite the passing of your dog. To which the mom emailed me back and said, the dog died 2.5 years ago. Yeah. Which means my student was not even 3 years old yet. But I'm fully convinced that it was happening right now. So yeah, that happened to me. And I'm sure there's wildness that's happening with you guys in your classrooms too. But I'm super happy to be here today. We're actually doing things a little bit different. We're here with Adobe because Adobe is doing amazing things for creativity in the classroom. Okay, now you know me, it's go big or go home. Someone plants a little seed idea, I have to take it to level 10,000 million. But another thing about me is I'm not exactly gonna keep working. I need to work harder, smarter, not harder, right? Because being a teacher, you got your hands in 10 million different directions at once. I'm not gonna, I'm not that teacher who's gonna be there until 8 o'clock at night. And I'm definitely not getting there at 5 a.m. Let me tell you that. But I had some time to talk to Adobe about a program they have called Character Animator. Listen to this. You literally bring characters to life right on your screen. Okay? Now I'm talking like TV show worthy animations that you're making for your classroom. Better yet, it's so easy, your kids can make them in your classroom too. So I got my wheels turning. I had some ideas. We have Earth Day coming up. So I really wanted to bring Mother Nature to life using a character and using Character Animator. I think it turned out pretty well. But when I met with Adobe, they gave me some amazing pro tips, and I'm excited to share those with you. So let's take a look at Character Animator. Dan, so I have this idea in my classroom where my students they've been recycling a lot, and I called the recycle bin Mother Nature's mailbox, which was a blessing and a curse because now they recycle more, but they want mail back from Mother Nature. Now I know Character Animator's out there. I know I can use it, and I'm gonna get super creative with it. Here's the thing, I don't have a clue how to use this thing.
So I work on the Character Animator team, and I've helped a lot of people have a lot of success with this. That goes from like something as big as The Simpsons down to I've visited community colleges and elementary schools, and I've helped teachers actually do things kind of similar to what you're looking at.
Super accessible then, it sounds like.
Animation is really fun, but it's also like extraordinarily tedious, and it takes forever. And we thought, like, what if we did it so fast you could do it live? And by live, I mean like live like we're talking. So that was the big challenge, and we got it. Like, you can do live animation now, which is really exciting.
I love it. All right, let's see what you got.
So Character Animator, the whole point of this was to be able to animate really quickly and have fun results. So when you launch the program, this is what you get. We've got some tutorials here, which are a great way to get going. And then there's videos online done by our UI designer that are fantastic. But what makes this magical here is that we've got this magic face tracking technology. It's tracking my eyes, my pupils. And then if I turn on the microphone, it's also analyzing my audio. So if I turn on my microphone here, you can see that now, you know, I've got a frog, eyebrows are going up and down. He's looking around when I look around, and that's all happening in real time. So this character is great. I'm going to turn on the lip sync. She's got like this nice hairstyle, her body, she can walk around. But what's really neat is she has been extended with some controls here. So you can actually adjust like her hairstyle. Let's see, I love the fuzzy hair. And then you can adjust the hair color. You can even, you know, give her facial hair. I mean, you know, at that point. So you can change the background too. So, you know, if you're a school teacher, we've got this school back there. But if you're Mother Earth, like maybe you'll want to find some stock images online and like find a starry field or something. But my suggestion, so I'm going to try and do this right here. We'll see how fast it takes. I'm going to like remove elements from this character. Let's see, we got the clothes color. I'm going to remove parts of this character and then try and replace her face with a globe. So the first thing I'm going to do is import, well, actually, I need to download it first. So let's get to Adobe stock. I'll type, what do we got? Cartoon globe. Come on, Adobe stock. You going to do it for me? We'll see. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
So it looks like I already have a license for this. So I'm just going to download this file. And now it's time to do some surgery because this character has like all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of stuff going on. They've got different views for walking, so I'm going to delete those. I don't need these arms. Just cross my fingers. I'm going to drag this in here in the head. And it's way too big, so how about 30% size? Is that going to do? Something like that. All right, let's try 40%. Okay, good enough. Now, if I switch back to the scene, we can see what's going on.
God.
All right, that's not bad. So I think, and now at this point, you know, let's try a different background. All right, let's get some slightly better Mother Earth hair. Ooh, that bun on top. That looks pretty good.
There we go. Very motherly.
Oh, nice. So I basically just want to change the size of it, I think. That's, whoop, you're leaving. So now the position. Okay. Yeah, we're so close. So now we've got it. I think now it's the most important part. It's your message. What's your message? So I'm just going to show you how to record in the program.
Okay.
It's like recording in an old tape deck. You just hit record. Kids are like, what's a tape deck? All right. That's long enough. So then I rewind, and, you know, we've got it played back. Kids are like, what's a tape deck? All right, that's long enough. There's a reason nobody pays to watch videos of me.
No, y'all just tell me when the camera's on, and I'll start talking to 'em. What? We're on right now? We're on right now? Well, hi there, kindergarten. It's so nice to see y'all. Now, I heard from Mr. D and Miss Hammer, and they told me y'all have been little recycling machines. Now, that does make me oh so happy.
Hello. All right. So that's what I made, and that's what I'm going to use in my classroom when we introduce Earth Day, because, you know, the kids have been asking for so long now when Mother Nature is going to talk back to them. So now I have Mother Nature come to them. Who knew Mother Nature is actually the world? At least she is in my brain, I guess. We're just going to roll with it. I think I'm going to go back and edit it a little bit. I think I need to give Mother Nature a little bit of a different voice. Like, I'm going to start to try and channel Sigourney Weaver narrating a nature documentary. Like, that should be it. Actually, on second thought, I think I'm just going to call Sigourney and see if she can do it for me. It's probably going to cost me a couple $100,000, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm reading a lot of the comments. I'm seeing people ask how can they get Character Animator and use Character Animator in their classrooms. Scroll through the comments. Adobe's in there. They should be giving you some links to check out. Also, a great thing to do, and I did this and was really surprised, just ask your administration. You might have access to all the Adobe apps already, which would be an amazing starting point. So start there and see where you can go. And also, indulge in the free trial because you can definitely use that too. But Adobe is in the comments for you, so ask away. They're going to be there. Now, Character Animator can be used in so many ways. Now, I'm teaching kindergarten, right? So that's a very elementary way to use it. But you can also get so creative with using it in middle and high school too. I have Lisa Godfried here with me right now, who teaches digital design at New Tech High School in Napa, California. She is like Madam Technology. Super happy to have her here today. Go ahead and bring on Lisa. Did you bring me some of that Napa wine?
I've got it right here by my side. Always.
How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you, Joe.
I'm so glad that you were able to join us today.
I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so I went through and I looked at a little bit of your work. I did a little dirt digging, right?
Yeah.
I called you Madam Technology, and I think that's the best title for you.
I'm gonna I'm gonna make all my students call me that from now on.
It's gonna be your Instagram handle after this, I think. Now, I'm particularly fond of how you use Character Animator in your classroom. Can you just like start there maybe and let me know how you use it and things you've done?
Yeah, so a couple years ago in my game design class, I just the craze at the time was Marble Olympics. I don't know if you've watched that at all, but my own kids at home got so into Marble Olympics one day that they sat for like 5 hours straight rooting for like the Cat's Eye team for Marble Olympics. And I thought, well, I want to bring this to game design. I want them to do like their own Marble Olympics and have their own commentators and do their own graphics. And it'll be a great way to like meet many needs for different technological levels of students, because I had very different levels of skill in that particular class. And so we did the Marble Olympics, and the first thing I had them do, because I'd never used Character Animator before, was to just pick a puppet that already existed and film themselves talking and being the commentators for the Marble Olympics, and just getting a sense of like how you import a puppet, how you move the arms, how you make the eyes move, any quick keys that might happen on it. So just doing the basics, how to change the backgrounds and how to record on Character Animator. So I would love to share just one quick, it was like a really rough, but it was super easy and like gave them some quick success. And I think that's also really cool for any adults that want to do this too. All right, let's see.
This is that part when in the corporate world.
Welcome to the New Tech Marble Olympics. So take a seat, enjoy, get team group for, and have a good time. Down here we're looking at the marble balance beam. These teams are going to race down the plank and try not to fall off. If they fall off, they're out. The first marble to make it across this and a best of 5 will win this section of the Marble Olympics. Moving on to the track, these 4 marbles are ready to take home the relay race trophy for their teams. They'll make their way until they bump their teammates, setting them in motion. The first team to have all of their members fully across the finish line will win. I'm not sure how I got here, but regardless, thank you for watching the 2019 New Tech Marble Olympics. See you next year.
I love it.
So it was super fun, and what I found out is that using Character Animator really got, like, this particular class for game design was super introverted. Like, you know how you get classes and they have their own personalities, right? This particular class was like full of maybe like super quiet kids and then kids on the spectrum. And maybe because it was game design, and I think that attracts like a certain kind of kid that likes to socialize on the internet playing games and things like that. So they were super quiet, and I just noticed they opened up so much when we did this particular project.
I love that too, and it seems like that's a really great way to start just attracting all kids to be able to show their learning. Did you have students who kind of like went back and started using it in other areas of your class, or like wanted to use it in other areas?
I would turn around and find like kids who were not even in that class, like doing Character Animator because they'd seen it over someone's shoulder and they knew they had a presentation in class and they needed to like film themselves, and they were just off like on their own figuring out how to do it. And it was like, whoa, how did you do that? Like, show me how you do it. So we learned a lot just by having it sort of out and about in the world, and a lot of kids took advantage of it who weren't even in my class.
I mean, it blows my mind too. Now, did you, I'm assuming you had to teach remote at some point.
Yes, up until March 1st, we were remote.
Now, did you use Character Animator at all to like do asynchronous learning or anything?
I did. Well, so I used it in Zoom when we first came on in August. And I actually like messed with my 9th graders quite a bit because I came on as an anime character. I think Rin is one of the characters that they have in that's pre-made. And I just came on as the character, and my daughter, who's a big anime fan, like she'd been watching so much of it that I was getting like what the voices were like. You have to talk like this.
Yeah.
And so I started the first day of class in every one of my classes as an anime character.
Oh, I love it.
Who was totally lost. Like, is this the Moon Festival Club? Am I in the right place? Total silence when I came on. Like, I don't think they knew what to think because I actually like showed up as the character on Zoom rather than myself. And it was a wide variety of I think like middle school and elementary school kids would get such a kick out of it. High schoolers were like, Mrs. Godfrey, that was really creepy. Don't ever do that again.
Yep, I could see it. Now, one of the things too that I thought right away is I thought it was going to be so complicated, and I really had low expectations for what I wanted to do because I thought I was going to get caught in that technology snafu where you have a vision for something, but you don't have the skills to actually bring it to life the way that you're seeing it. And one of the things that really surprised me about Character Animator is how user-friendly it was. And even the things that I didn't know how to do, if I just typed in a YouTube Character Animator, how to this, like there were so many tutorials that very quickly taught me to do what I did. How would you say your students react to the building process and the making process?
We started simple with the Marble Olympics and an existing puppet, but then we moved pretty quickly because these students already have skills in Illustrator and in Photoshop. So we could sort of build on what they already knew. And the next step was to create your own video game character that you could interview like in a talk show. And it was surprising. I mean, I'd never used Character Animator when I gave them that particular project. Like, let's all just try this, and it might be a huge fail, but maybe it won't. And it turned out, I mean, everybody successfully made their own character and then embodied their character, and we interviewed them. And it was pretty amazing to watch. It was I was really surprised. Like they really had to understand the whole backstory behind their characters in order to be interviewed. Like, can you imagine, like, if you were doing even like Romeo and Juliet, if you were like Juliet, you'd have to know, like, so all the backstory behind Juliet. Like, so what's her favorite color and how does she dress? And does she get along with her parents or does she not get along with her parents? Is she snarky? Like, you have to come with all of that character knowledge in order to be interviewed and embody that character. And I can imagine that being like something really cool to do when you're studying books in the classroom or really thinking through. For us, it was about writing a game design document. So you had to build a world, and you had to, understand the backstory of your character. And it was actually a major writing piece to do this character animator interview thing.
I'm thinking about how I'm going to continue to use it after this quick Mother Nature bit that I'm doing. And in 4th grade, we did a lot of character study, and we did a lot of plot study as well. And I would love to have the students pick a character from whatever it is that we're reading, and just have them give a message, because from that message, you could already tell, like, did they understand the mood of the character? Are they actually talking like the character would talk? Are they making decisions for that character like the character would make? And from there, you can extract so much of their actual reading comprehension. So it's completely cross-curricular.
Yes.
And the other thing that I thought too is that it's just, it's a great tool for students to learn how to be flexible, because although they might not have your exact character of whoever it is you want, you can choose what all the characters that Character Animator has automatically built in, but then you can just kind of scroll and change the features about them so easily to get as close to whatever it is you want. So there's like social emotional concepts to it too.
There's also like ways that you can just find a picture of your particular character. Like, let's say we were doing the Hungry Caterpillar, right? So I could take the Hungry Caterpillar and literally transpose the Hungry Caterpillar picture on top of my face. So there's other ways that don't even require, you scan your face in.
Yep.
So like my dream would be to show up to an all-school meeting as like the Oz,
Oh,
you
yeah.
there in the 2nd row, please put your cell phone away.
I love it. Now that's the kind of staff meeting that I could definitely relish in. Lisa, thank you so much for being here with us today. I feel like you embody what it means to be a character animation teacher, and I find that so cool, and I'm glad we got to connect.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon. We're going to go ahead and put her information in the chat as well if you want to go ahead and follow Lisa online. She's got some amazing resources out there for you, and can definitely talk more about Character Animator if it's something you want to use. Another teacher who uses technology immensely across the board is here with us today. I have Felisa Ford from Atlanta, Georgia. She is the Digital Learning Specialist of Social Studies for Atlanta Public Schools. Felisa, join me on stage.
Hi, Joe.
Hello, how are you?
I am doing great. You all have gotten me excited about trying Character Animator. I have to try it.
It's unbelievable, right?
Right. You know what? I'm thinking I would like to try it with my Bitmoji to see if I could bring my Bitmoji to life. That would be so fun.
And okay, I think you'll appreciate this. Don't you wish you had Character Animator at the start of the pandemic when we found out we were going remote? Like, I would have been in my pajamas for weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That character would have been doing all my teaching for me.
All of it. Right. Absolutely. It's
okay.
Not too late.
Felisa, you come to us with a stacked resume. You've been in education for over 20 years.
Don't say the years.
I said 4 years.
Okay, right. Just stop there.
25 years old, unbelievable. The accomplishments you've had, and now you're so high up in Atlanta public schools. It's truly really amazing. But one thing that did catch my eye when I was looking at all the work that you do is I bet that you have a really strong understanding of the evolution of technology in the classroom and what that was when you first started teaching and kind of like where it's at now. Can you talk to us a little bit about like your own observations and what actually happened?
Oh my goodness. We were just really learning how to save documents on an external drive, like the USB and things like that, or just understanding emails, but all this, the internet, as we really know it and are using real-time collaboration, none of that existed when I was in the classroom starting out. So we have really, really progressed exponentially. So I love what I do. I love helping educators in my district across the nation use technology and overcome their fear of using technology.
That's a huge part too, because I feel like a lot of teachers will look at me, they're like, oh, millennial, he gets technology. I'm like,
Right,
hey, guess what? I
right.
actually don't.
That is
So-
so true. It can be intimidating for you if you really haven't been around it. So that's really why I love putting teachers at ease and just taking my time. If, as long as they need the time, I will take the time they need to make them feel comfortable in using it. And then just starting small, starting mastering one thing, and then go from there. Because
Let's
it's about bringing everybody along, not leaving anyone behind.
Oh, absolutely. And then we came to that point in 2020 where it was like you have no choice but to use
Yeah, no,
technology.
when I say no choice, it is sink or swim. So what are you gonna do?
Let's shift gears a little bit and let's talk about creativity in the classroom, whether it's technologically based or not.
Mhm.
What do you think is to be valued the most about using creativity with your practice in education?
I think creativity is so important because it's one of those skills that allows students to really express themselves because everyone is not a writer. So with that creativity, you're giving students the option to express or demonstrate what they know in a format that they're comfortable with. So that creativity is really, really important. So I encourage teachers to really, if you're not really focusing on that particular skill, I encourage you to do that a little more. And Adobe is the perfect resource that allows you to do that. One of the tools that I love in Adobe that is easy for teachers to use if they're just getting started with that is Adobe Spark, whether it's post or page, it's template based. So you can't go wrong with the template.
Now, what are some points that you've seen students use Spark where they've been super successful in the classroom?
One thing that we have done, and if a lot of teachers are familiar with Flipgrid, Flipgrid has a discovery library, and if I could share my screen really fast, I can show
Yes,
you.
please.
Okay, all right. So
Flipgrid is
here,
taking over. It's pretty great.
Flipgrid is taken over. So as I was saying, in Flipgrid, there is the discovery library where tons of companies have resources and teachers can post, but Adobe for Education has their own page. And I had the opportunity and some other Adobe educators, we created various topics that teachers could just take and use instantly in the classroom. And this one that we created, and I love this, and it reminds me of that student you said about her dog and how she was just had everyone traumatized and distraught about the passing of her dog. This would have been a perfect activity for her. This is fake news. Can you spot the truth? And this is where we encourage students to cite sources, but it's really based on two truths and a lie, where students bring in two true topics and then a lie, and then there's classmates have to try to figure out which one is the lie. And we use Adobe Spark to create the images that we use. And I'll give you an example of some of what students were able to create. This was all done in Spark. Right. So you're trying to really fool your classmates, letting them figure out which one is the truth.
And these are student created that you're
These
showing
are
me.
student created. Yes, that's the purpose. And all of these are done from templates in Spark. You just put your pictures in, you just change out the text because everything is formatted for you. And so it was really, really easy to use.
Now that's
Really
something
easy.
that teachers could see right now and go use tomorrow in their classroom.
Absolutely. I'm going to stop sharing, but absolutely something really easy that you can use. And you can make great graphics. If for those teachers that are on social media, they have Instagram graphics, they have graphics for if you want to do a Spark page, which is just like a web page, graphics for flyers, because as teachers, or educators, we're always needing a good flyer or a good graphic. So Spark is the perfect tool for you to do that. Bring in
And
that creativity.
Spark is also free for education, which is overly amazing. Now, when you start using this in the classroom, what's sort of the mood of the students as they're working?
Oh, they get excited because they always try to one up the other.
Oh
They
yeah,
always,
oh yeah.
that competition kicks in. So they love working with Spark, the ease of use for it. And like you said, if you have your district accounts, the students just use their school accounts, log in, get access to it. So it's really easy. And then it integrates with some of the other ed tech tools that we use as well. So it's absolutely great, great option for creativity in the classroom.
And what I love about that is the accessibility, right? Like we're not leaving any student out. Like they can all use this at various levels. And
Absolutely.
I think one of the best things about Spark is the fact that you can differentiate the instruction so easily with the objectives that you're getting your students. And already with this fake news activity, I can see you having it like tiered a little bit with what the objectives are with students based on their own personal needs, which is really how we cater to our learners, right?
Right. And the culminating activity for that one is then they had to present it in like a news broadcast via Flipgrid, because Flipgrid has the different filters and they have the news filter. So they present what they create via Flipgrid. So they're presenting a newscast. So then the class has to figure out which story is actually the true story or which one is the fake story.
And what grade was this?
We designed it for middle school, but I think any teacher could really change it up to fit whatever whatever grade level of students they need, just by making some adjustments or putting in additional supports or scaffolds for students.
I could use that so easily in elementary school.
You could use that so easily. That's why I said when you mentioned that story about your student and her dog, I said, oh, this would have been a great story here for Two Truths and a Lie.
Why didn't we meet sooner?
Right. Put those creative minds to work in a positive way.
Now, those creative minds can sometimes get in the way of themselves, though. I always see students who are so creative mentally, and they get that mental block and they think that they can't do it. Now, when it comes to projects like this that you've worked with students, how do you kind of encourage struggling students to dabble with technology to be able to, continue to use technology to further their learning?
But like I said, with a platform like Spark, it is really template based with Spark posts, because you can support them by just having them change out whatever the template is. They're changing out the words to whatever words they want to use. So it really is at their level, however easy or difficult we need it to be. So the supports really are built in. It's just a matter of getting them past themselves or the fear of, I can't do this.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, absolutely.
So speaking of those baby steps, one thing I want to leave the audience with this. What would you say to, a first-year educator who knows the importance of technology in the classroom, but is very apprehensive to get started because they're just so scared that they won't be able to do it and they'll screw up? What would kind of the Felisa pep talk sound like?
Start small. Start with one tool, master that tool, and then move on to something else. And it's all about your comfort level. So when you're comfortable with using a tool, use that tool, but then it's also about exposure, because our students deserve our very best, and that our very best means giving our students the opportunity to interact with technology. So it really is upon us as educators to give our students the option or the opportunity to have their instruction enhanced by technology, because we know it can really make a difference.
I love that. Felisa, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to come down to Atlanta and we are going to eat Southern food.
Please do. Look me up when you come. Come to Atlanta Public Schools. Look me up. Call me.
Good deal. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Gosh, you guys, okay, between Spark and Character Animator, these are some tools that can really set your students up for success. I mean, they can even set you up for success in ways that you don't even really know that you're capable of yet. Character Animator, though, going back to that for just a minute, I cannot stress to you guys enough how simple it is to use. You literally just get in there and you kind of already know the platform a little bit from other things that you've probably used in the past. Just by opening it, the interface was extremely easy to understand as I got in there. And just know too that everyone can get a free trial of Character Animator, and there are tutorials for you to use if you can't figure it out when you're using that free trial. And there are also tons and tons and tons of free puppets that are in there as well that are editable. There's one in there that's called Barbarasaurus. It's actually a dinosaur who is sitting at a news desk, and it's claymation, which is really neat because it gives a new dimension to the animation because it's not drawn, which is really cool. I'm already thinking about giving Barbarasaurus a Barbara Walters voice and having her do some news reports in my classroom for breaking news in kindergarten. So I'm Bob Wasaurus. We're working on the voice. We're gonna get there. But thank you so much to Lisa and Felisa for joining us today, for sharing their knowledge and their passion for technology and getting creative in the classroom. You guys, just know that everyone can be a creative teacher and every student can be a creative student. It's all about taking those baby steps and being brave to just take one step to get started. These tools that we talked about today from Adobe are just the smallest way that you can go ahead and get started. And trust me, once you get in there and you start getting comfortable, you're going to go to all the other resources that Adobe has for you and start bringing those into your classroom too. Trust me, so simple to use. Oh, and by the way, I said this earlier too. Start by just asking your administrator if you already have access to these Adobe tools. You might not have them on your immediate computer, but the administration at your building might have everything for you already. So start there and then go to the free trial and see what you can do. You won't regret it. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Wednesday. We're going to keep this active, so if you want to show it to your coworkers or you want to come back and watch it later, you can do that. It'll be here for you, both on the Adobe page and my page. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.